Conor, welcome to Best Kept Secrets Festival.
Thanks very much.
How are you feeling? How is it to be at the festival side for you?
It's great, yeah. Well, I woke up pretty late and got taken on a safari straight away. That was pretty cool.
Was it impressive, the safari?
Yeah, some giraffes, some zebras and lions and stuff.
It's always a good start of the festival day. And I was wondering, because today is the day that the Strokes will be playing a show. You guys mentioned earlier, as a band, you're big fans of the Strokes. Could you explain to me how they influenced you as a musician and you as a band?
I think that when you start a band, you're kind of limited in what you can do, you know. You don't really understand what it is a guitar and a bass and drums can do together when it's 4 or 5 people, how they're supposed to work together. And then when you listen to the Strokes' first album, you really get it. It's all very organised. It's very easy to comprehend. Because it's so catchy as well, it's very easy to get into. So when we were just young guys, we were really into that, but it became actually a bit of a trap for us, you know. I think it's a trap for a lot of young bands to listen to the Strokes, because, you know, how do you move away from that? You need to find your own identity and stuff like that. So it took us a couple of years to stop just ripping them off, basically.
Are you like the type of person that if you are at the festival side, if you have some time, you get to check bands, other artists? Have you been
absolutely,
able to do that lately?
Totally, yeah. I just went to see the Go Express there. They were really good.
That was good?
Yeah, it was great, yeah. Really good guys. Met them before when they played in London. From like kids from Manchester, you probably know them.
Yeah. So cool. And what are the other things that for you as a person, as a musician, that you would like to do, some rituals before going on stage, getting ready, getting the energy?
We just get really weird with each other. We just lock ourselves in the backstage room, just the 5 of us, put on some like hip hop music and jump around, scream and stuff, just to get ourselves really weird. And I think it's like a thing of getting out of your head and into your body as well, you know. Try and get as physical as you can. Because I think there's a time and a place for being introverted when you're a musician. It's in the studio.
Yeah.
But I think that doesn't serve you very well when you're on stage in front of people. You're expected to be the complete opposite then.
Yeah.
And so I think that like the physicality is a great step forward in like making yourself more extroverted on like a whim, you know.
Yeah, that's so interesting, because as you mentioned, you're maybe some kind of complete different person on stage, and you might find yourself like forcing to get that energy or to be the performer. Is that something that you're, busy with before the gig?
It's definitely something we have to try and do sometimes, you know. The schedule is quite tiring sometimes for us, you know, we're very, very busy. You don't want to let down the people who have come to your show just because you're tired and that kind of thing, so sometimes you need to force the energy a little bit, but it's just so that it's more so that the first 2 or 3 songs aren't a drag, you know, because by the time you're halfway through the gig, you get to that energy, but then you're like, I should have been there the whole time.
Yeah. And how do you guys approach a festival show? If I would compare it to a concert venue, a club tour of Fontaines D.C, you've previously did some awesome gigs in the Netherlands at the Doornroosje and the Tivoli venue, and like the crowds and everyone was going nuts. And what's the biggest difference for you with a festival show?
Well, the Dutch crowds are actually some of my favourite, to be honest. Like our shows that we played in the Netherlands, like a few months ago, in Utrecht and places were some of the best on the tour for sure. The Dutch crowd are great.
So cool.
But festival season is more. It's nice because, well, when you're doing your own tour, you want to do your album tracks. You want to do, show people what it's really like. But when it's festival season, you just play all the songs. You try and make it like as enjoyable a show for people who are coming as possible, and I just love that.
Yeah, so cool. And there's so much energy and there's so much music, because you just released the new record, and it's the 3rd record in 4 years. So that's so quick. What's the process like with Fontaines D.C as a band?
Well, we write all the time. I think it took us years to be able to figure out how to write in the first place. It took us started the band in 2014. And it was only in 2018 really that we figured out how to write properly. Then after that, we kind of had a bit of a fear of not being able to follow up our first album. So we just started writing really quickly so we wouldn't kind of lose that energy.
Yeah.
And we just kept doing that so that we wouldn't lose track of ourselves. And so yeah, even on the sound checks in this tour, we've been writing a lot. and like writing backstage and laptops and things like that.
And it's so cool because the reactions on this new record, I think they're amazing. Must also be for you as a band to read them, to receive them. And every time we're playing a song of you on NPO 3FM, there's always, you know, that one listener that hears it for the first time, discovers it, and is going crazy. Like, what is this band? This is so cool, and are really looking forward to go to the festivals and see you, like in this post-pandemic time. You know, do you feel that energy of people being hyped to check it out live?
Definitely, yeah, for the most part. But sometimes there's crowds where people are a little bit more estranged, just culturally. Like
Yeah.
we were just in Switzerland, and they're a lot more reserved than like the Dutch or the French or something. You know, I think it's a really weird thing because we wrote that third album during the pandemic, and I think you can kind of feel that it's a bit draggy. It's a bit wanting something more.
Yeah.
A bit lost, and now we're going out and playing it for people who are all excited to be back living, but we're subjecting them to that.
Yeah.
But then they're excited about that. I think it's a very strange concept.
Yeah. I have to ask you the question, what's for you the best way to stay sane on tour? Because that's the question I ask all the artists that come by here at the Best Kept Secrets Festival. I spoke to Sigrid yesterday. She's like playing The Sims all the time when she's on tour. What's the best thing for you to do to keep focused?
Just try and find some routine that you can take with you everywhere, you know? Even if it's just brushing your teeth. You know, just try and be, you know, get a semblance of routine, because you can get very swept up around in a big schedule, you know?
Yeah.
And when everything changes all the time, to be able to bring something with you and do that, even if it's just like watching TV at night or something.
That's it. Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
And have fun tonight. Really looking forward to the gig. So
Sound, thank you.
Thank you.